First of all, the cop that shot this lady was most likely a stupid asshole, a bully, piece of shit, or just a coward. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Now, cops have been shooting people in America for as long as I've been alive, and even longer. We used to hang them high. So, what I'm trying to say is this: you can forget about this Justine Dimond. Forget about this story. Just forget about it. I'm going to tell you why you should forget about it. Because every other white person that was killed in America by the cops, you didn't see this? She is not a white person. She's not one of you. So you white folks out there who's, oh, this Muslim cop did it. You need to forget about that shit. You need to look at the big picture. You see this? This person is important. But when one of your people gets shot, one of the regular white folks walking around the street without 15 cents, when they get shot, you don't see this. Because nobody gives a fuck about white people. They don't. That's why the cops shoot white people and black people. They don't shoot Europeans. They don't shoot foreigners. This is a problem. This is the second time, I think, and recently that, even in San Francisco, when you see people on vacation, they do not want in America for anybody to be murdered. They don't want nobody killed of so-called white skin from outside the United States because it makes America look bad. But they will run around here, round up poor whites, poor blacks, and poor Mexicans, line your ass up, shoot you, throw crack in your pockets, crank in your pockets, weed in your pockets, whatever the fuck they want to throw in your pockets, and you're fucking dead. And nobody gives a shit because you probably did something wrong. That's probably why the cop shot you. That's the attitude most white people have when a cop shoots a white person. They, oh, well, he must have done something bad. And when the average white person sees a black person get shot, it's like, well, they've known for crime and, But see, there are some things you folks need to learn about. You need to study who you are. All these Disney movies and all these quotes and shit and all this media and all this stuff that you bought into, you have been lied to worse than any black person on this fucking continent. And hopefully Justine Dimond will prove it to you. You are going to see people from all over the world wanting to find out about this. But when a regular white guy gets shot, maybe you are a criminal and you get shot. You don't deserve to die. But they do that to poor whites and poor blacks. Mostly, you don't have to be a poor black. You just got to be black. And Hispanic, well, you growing on the list because they started to just like Hispanics a lot. Talking about all the jobs you're taking from the white people. I mean, think about this. All the jobs that Mexicans are taking from white people. Well, what about the jobs the so-called Mexicans are taking from black people and Asian people? You see, the point is, in America, a group of people have been set up to believe some things that aren't necessarily true. And they need to go ahead and do the research about their own history instead of worrying about somebody taking their shit. Because the only people going to take your shit are European. And find out where our leaders come from. Wait a minute. They're most likely European. Because if you look at America, all I got to say to those with brains in their head is 1681. That's all I got to say. And if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. And white people, it's time for you to go back to your roots. Find your roots, not that colonialism bullshit that you bought into, the promise. You need to forget about that promise and go for the freedom that you really want. Because the people that got white people's freedom in America, when you look deep down inside of them, they are all Europeans. You might not believe me and you might think I'm a lie. But white people came over here and changed just like black people did. But just remember this other thing. More white people came in here and changed than black people. Remember that. Because there were black people here already before there were white people here. This was the land of the red and brown. So, there's some yellow here too. But you need to really look at your history. Because the people that have been flim-flammed in this country don't look like me. We've been oppressed. You have been flim-flammed. You've been lied to. You've been used. You've been used for your color. And watch how much coverage and respect this woman gets compared to one of your relatives. I'm not lying to you. This right here woke up my eyes. It's because now they're talking about there's problems with the police. This is the major news. When I hear about black people oh man, it's just another. When I hear about, white people getting shot, well, he must have done something. This is a tourist. No. She's here and she's a yoga instructor. She's not a tourist, but she's not American. And for that reason, you will see justice. Because I've seen people shot and all kind of stuff. And the coroner do this stuff and everything. This is a homicide. It's been determined that this is a homicide. So shooting a little kid in a park from 300 yards away is not a homicide. Running up behind someone who's running from you and you shoot him in the back 4 or 5 times is not a homicide. But this is a homicide. Forget about Justine Dimond and worry about Larry Fitzgerald, Robert Franklin, Janine Robertson, and Christine Swanson, and worry about the Joneses and the Smithses, and do not worry about these people from overseas, because just feel deep inside yourself and look real hard at your situation through this whole entire ordeal, which you call life, and go do the research, and you'll find out why you're being fucked right now in 2017, because it won't be a 18 or 19 for whites and blacks if you guys don't get off your ass, because we've given up. We've marched and got Mexicans' rights. We've marched and done all this. We've marched and done all that. And you've marched for Occupy, and they shut down campsites. And look at this shit. Worldwide disgust. Because she's not one of us. And if you don't think you one of us, best believe, and God will tell you, you're not one of them. So, I just hope this lady gets some justice. Oh, this cop, the bus, they're not going to back up no bus on him. They're not going to drop no bus on him. He's been fucking up since he been there. He is going to be the example. And that should tell every American how that works. That should tell every American how that works. A handful of police officers have been arrested. This motherfucker is going down for the big M, the murdoir. He's going to get the murdoir charge. Because wait. Second degree, because they're going to lighten it up, because he does have the cop moniker. But if you throw him away, people are going to start unenrolling in the academies. I'm serious. Because you throw this guy away, some of these white cops will be like, I can't be racist no more on the job. Some of these asshole cops will be like, shit, I just can't beat up anybody when I'm sad. Some of these predator cops will be like, I just don't know if I can rape a woman while pulling her over tonight. Do all the research. More predators go get in that field than any other field. The prospect of being afraid when you know you got a weapon that could kill somebody is fucking utterly ridiculous. And now, because this nigga proved this utterly ridiculous, no fucking story they can ever tell will ever cover up the bullshit anymore. Cops, I understand. Just a couple weeks ago, a cop got shot. He was in his cop was in his car or whatever, and somebody walked up and shot him. I can see how this idiot could be scared. But how do you go get a job and you know you're going to be scared? It's not too, people still got fireworks. People still firing fireworks. And this is, 4th of July was earlier this month. That's like, what, 20 days ago almost, or not 28, 14, 15 days ago. So there's idiots out there with fireworks. So you could have been in the alley and some little kid could have threw a firecracker and you would have shot that lady in the stomach anyway. Dumb shit. Nonsensical shit. This is what we have to deal with in America. So could somebody overseas send us some money so we can understand this? Could you send the money strictly to the poor whites and poor blacks, but put blacks first because the poor whites can walk through neighborhoods that blacks can't, and it's still like that in America. So skip all that racial bullshit. There are good people out there, regardless of what color they are, regardless of what race they are. We all know that. We all know that not all white people are the white devil, and we all know that all black people ain't the black devil. But we do know some Europeans come fuck up some shit, and they don't give a fuck. They even say in their commercials, "Oh, the best European," or whatever the fuck they say. Like, oh, the Euro, they don't give a fuck about us. They've been running our country forever. They'll send somebody else from the Euro over here. They sent families here and told them, as long as you're white, you can be citizens. They did that. Look it up. Anybody from around the world can come to America. As long as you're white, you can be a citizen. And they came to this country. And they pushed you down. You came to this country in chains, and they invited them. So what's the difference between you and you? What is the difference between you and you? You can't tell the difference. White people cannot tell the difference from Europeans. They can't tell the difference from the elite and themselves because they see themselves in that image. That and a shitload of laws that make the elite created an influx. They are using your color to fuck you in the ass. And if you can't see it, you need to wake up. Because the problem is not black people and Mexicans. The problem is not even all the Europeans that ever came here. The problem is those who were established, who got here, who had more than you in the beginning, still will have more than you in the end. And that, my friends, is the problem. Because if you can't afford to go to the school, then you can't afford to get to the education. You can't get to the education because you ain't got the money. You ain't got the money, you ain't got the say-so. And if you ain't never had the money, you never will. Because they never gave you your freedom. They just gave you an opportunity. Then they put laws in place to stand themselves up, but they never propped you up with them. And the lie has been told, but the truth is now out. And I ain't going to tell you no more. The research is out there, and it's on the internet. So you better look at it now before they take it off. Because once they take all the proof off the internet, then you'll still think you're one of them, and they will still fuck you in the ass. They will fuck your kids. They will fuck your grandkids because this, what do they call it? Labor servitude. You work 60 hours a week and you're still fucking $500 short on your rent. How the fuck do that work? You work, your wife work, your kids work, your grandkids work, and your great-great-grandkids are on the fleece. How do you allow this to continue happening? And you are the only people who can stop it because we can't walk in the room and stop them. But you can. But you don't have enough balls, guts, or courage to stand up to yourself. Because you can't. Because everything you see in you. Everything that's bad that goes on, you believe that you're a part of it, so you don't want to say nothing. You have been used and manipulated. And the most beautiful part about the whole thing is, yeah, we have been fucked over, murdered, killed, eons. But you couldn't even see. You didn't even watch yourselves be murdered and killed. Because you figured he or she must have done something wrong. And then when you do stand up for yourself, the next person says, he or she must have done something wrong. You got the power. But you're scared to use it. You know what they say? The truth shall set you free. You're the ones that's enslaved. Because you should see exactly what's going to happen. She is going to get justice. And every one of your family members that died. And you're like, these black people are always bitching about that shit. Every one of your family members that died. Because a lot of black people don't know about this. A lot of black people are ignorant. And they don't understand that there's more white people in America. And if there's more white people in America, there's got to be more poor white people in America than black people. And there are. There are more poor white people in America than there are black people. And you folks are the same ones that was fighting for us and fighting with us for freedom a long time ago. But then you stopped. You stopped fighting for your freedom and fighting for everybody's freedom, fighting for the rights of the real world. You stopped in 1681.